I think we're live, and thank you for coming back for my second video of TEK Bytes. My name is Jase Anzo, and we are just about to continue where we last left off, which was yesterday. So we're gonna go live on Facebook as well. How you guys doing? My name is Jase Anzo, and we're gonna be doing a continuation from yesterday's conversation to today. So let's see here. So we're on live. Looks like. Are we live? Are we live? Looks like we're live. And how's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing great. Had a wonderful weekend. Awesome. Let's see here. Oops. Just making sure that we're live on Facebook. Cool. In any case, that this way I can respond into any questions if need be, right? Gotta make sure that we have all these questions that are responding to. Okay, so how you guys doing? Let's begin. The topic in these videos is we want to look into the metrics and finding the truth of things, right? And I get so excited about when we talk about whether it's video games, cell phones, iPads, laptops, electronics in general, right? I grew up with this stuff. I've always wanted to have an understanding with all this stuff. I've personally, myself, I've been doing cell phone repair since 2011. And my cousin thinks that I've been on it for a little bit longer than that. I don't know. I guess I've been around technology for the majority of my lifetime. And in this video, on these Tech Bytes, I like to cover a lot of ranging topics. I have in the backboard, the whiteboard that I have here, are the majority of topics that I want to talk to you about, which are cell phones and tablets, mobile devices, video games, Pokémon, of course, and general cameras, appliances, and electronics, and also the looming future of AI and robotics. So those are the things that interest me right now, and those are the concerning topics I want to discuss about. I want to talk about the metrics leading to where we're at today and where we're going in the future with all this stuff. Where is it that we as society are going to, and what are these companies trying to pursue, and where can we benefit or adapt rather to these trending tides. In any case, I just want to make sure that there we go. So, yesterday we were talking about the state of video games and how video games were, that was the main focal point of last video, and how a focus away from video games has occurred through the mobile markets. There's been a big shift from from conventional console video games to playing on the phone. So what I mean is, this is a Nintendo Switch, and it's also a mobile console. People may have an Xbox, a PlayStation 5, a PC, if you will. However, the biggest market right now really is on the phones. This one's charging, by the way. So on the phone, it seems more and more people that has a phone are playing on their phones. And the phone is taking a lot of attention from the video games. Where before, if I can remember growing up in the 1990s, the main attention grabber for us kids, because there's really two things that was getting our attention back in the early 90s. It was either going outside and play, or being inside and playing your Super Nintendo or Sega. Those were the two things. And people at that time, they were trying to figure out ways on how to capitalize that, how to monetize that. So if we were playing outside, us as kids, the thing that they would sell us as kids was bicycles. Those were cool things as kids. We used to love riding our bicycles. They would like to sell us on pogs. They like to sell us on, even tops, those spinning tops, yo-yos. What else? Skateboards, rollerblades. Those were the tools that people would see that, oh, these kids are playing outside. Let's give them toys to play outside with. And they even got as far as technical as making RC cars. And when I was a kid, I always wanted the baddest RC car, something that goes off-road. There was an RC car that could flip around, whether it was upside down or upside up, it could still go. It was awesome. It was the greatest thing my mom would ever give me at that time. And I remember she got me that RC car. I just fell in love with it. Anyways, that was at the time. And the other attention grabber was being at home with either your television, watching all your movies, and the other one would be your home entertainment system, your video game console. So we had the best of both worlds, the stuff to play with when you're outside, and the stuff to play with while you're inside. And nowadays, things have changed where the phone essentially has taken most of our attention, right? Most of the kids today playing outside, that's not really a thing. It's in fact, it's looked at as being more dangerous. When you have your kids, you don't really think about having your kids outside anymore. It's not a thing anymore. It's not something that we as a society, and especially in the United States, I don't see a lot of kids going outside. It's just not a thing. At least not the way I remember it. I remember going outside, getting scraped, getting hurt, and the parents did not even care. As a matter of fact, the parents would beat the living hell out of us if we were outside for too long. It was bad, and that was our freedom, being outside. And that's not the case anymore. It's now the opposite. We as parents want our kids to go outside, and they don't want to go outside. Why? They have phones, they have tablets, they have all the video games that we didn't have growing up. And now these video games are facing a crisis. Maybe crisis is too harsh of a word, but they really need to adapt on what's going on. And it's not slowing down. It's not slowing down. It's interesting how where things are going. And with this, monologue starting into this, I know this monologue had, this rambling of all this took a little bit longer. It dragged a little bit too longer. I'd like to show a presentation, and mind you, I am presenting this on YouTube, so mind you, forgive me if I'm looking at another screen right here, but I do have my YouTube slide right up, and I should share this right now as we speak. If we can go over here, we can share this, Facebook, Boom. We are live on Facebook. Okay. Well, I sent the link to you guys so you guys can see another perspective, another point of view. That way you can see what do you call it? The slideshow presentation. We're going to go over a slideshow presentation in just a moment. And sorry, I do apologize. None of this is scripted. I'm just winging it. You gotta run before you walk. So before I go to the slideshow presentation, it's mostly based on video games, but it's also bringing up home very important points. And me growing up, I always looked at how things work, why are things the way they are. Science is one of them. I like science in a way where science is seeking truth, how science is unraveling certain things, and how it's making it possible, how certain things work because of science, you know. And I don't know, I always go back to the term with Nacho Libre. If you guys ever seen Nacho Libre, he's like, I believe in science. So funny. In any case, metrics is something that I like to talk about. Metrics, in where we're at right now, is a very important subject. I think that the fun thing about metrics is that you can find certain gaps in the market, and you can see the trends happening in real time. And the metrics that I like to share with you guys are current metrics. I don't like the more back in time the metrics are, the more obscure it is, because those aren't metrics that are working today. I don't think using metrics from 5 years ago should be right. I think the most I would go back that would be valid would be possibly 3 years ago. But I can go in the past to see how things were, but those trends always shift right at the moment, right? And you want to see what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 to 5 years, even 10 years, to see where things are going. That way you can grasp that opportunity right now and see. The topics that I'm going to be talking to you guys again, maybe you'll see something that I'm not seeing myself in these graphs and these charts. So the charts that I'm about to share with you guys, and that's the main thing, education. We all want to learn. I want to learn. You guys want to learn. And I want to be able to learn together what these graphs mean, what these graphs shed light on, and what I'm seeing may be probably completely different from what you're seeing. And if you want to bring that up in the comments, feel free to do so, because maybe you might point something out that I'm not aware of, and I would love to know what insight you guys may have in regards to the charts we're going to be talking about in a few moments. So, before I begin, let me grab a drink because my throat. Okay. Long day. Let's play some music, shall we?
Continue your journey with the DLC for the Pokémon Legends ZA game. Far away, in enchanted lands, untouched by the trademark
So, uh, let's take a look at this graph. The state of video gaming in 2025. What are the charts that is bringing up in that time frame? What is everything? And these graphs were made by a gentleman named Matthew Ball. Matthew Ball is the creator, and I can't thank you enough for creating a graph just like this. I love what you created here, and it's amazing. And I'm thankful for all the hard work that you've done, not only from 2025, but also for 2026. Please keep up the good work, and I would love to follow you every moment that you do. In any case, that's him. What you see there, you can see that. And we're gonna go to the next page. As you can see here, a rough 3 years, and the end of 2011 to 2021 growth wave. The mobile marketplace in 2025, a brief review of AR and VR forecast, how much and where the console has grown, the relevance of China, the hostility of modern console and PC content marketplace, and how player playtime and player spend might return to growth. So these are the interesting topics that we were talking about last night. I wanted to continue on because we didn't have the time last night. I only had 1 hour, and this time around I'd like to be more in line within at least 2 hours. So stick with me, and if you'd like to be here, great, and hang out and hear me blabber for the next almost 2 hours. However, I'm going to run into every single point, and hopefully we can conversate together about it. Before we start forward in the bookmarks, or in the chapters rather, the relevance of China. See, China has been lately a beast. These people in China have, it's almost as if they're figuring it out, and it's almost scary on what level of logistics they got going on. They have it down to manufacturing. They have it down to recreating even silicon chips. They have it down just about on every corner, and it's almost scary on what they're able to produce. They have, like, I heard a story where they have solar panels powering an ecosystem, an entire ecosystem. It just blew my mind on the things that China is developing and creating. And they're competing in all wavelengths. Not only are they competing in creating great video games, China has become, they're also making great animation as well. Amazing animation. They're creating animes that's competing to the levels of Japanese anime. It's just wild to see what the Chinese are doing with the creativity science, the side of creativity, the sides of ingenuity, and the growth of their perspective of growth. So China is playing ball, and they're playing hard. And the video games that they're creating, my God, they're increasingly taking a major percentage share of the video game market. So that's interesting what China is doing, and it's a huge topic. I want to talk about that in the future. Anyways, let's go to the next page. Let's take a look at this graph here. From 2011 to 2021, video games soared. Spending grew at 2x the rate of the preceding 20 years, with annual revenues of 150% overall, taking the industry from 79 billion to 196 billion. That is telling me that the whole video game industry has grown by 2x. That doubled. That's wild. If you want to look at the chart one more time, here it is. That's everything from arcades, console, PC, mobile market, VR, web, and it excludes the hardware and accessories, of course. Let's see if we can split this graph. We can split the graph. Let me see if we have split in the graph. Just give me a moment. There was, of course, a pullback during COVID time, but still things were growing. So that's interesting to see. Since COVID, let's take a look at page 7. Or page 5 rather. Okay. Through a few anticipated... Excuse me right there. Through a few anticipated... Though a few anticipated a slowdown or even a pullback after COVID, most expected that the gaming's growth would continue at high rates, if not accelerated. So, during COVID, gaming actually slowed down, interestingly enough, but people expected it was going to accelerate. Instead, spend fell by 3.5%, so meaning people weren't spending enough in video games. And they barely grew in 2023 and 2024, finishing flat over 3 years. Thus, billions of players and our dollars short of forecast. So there was a pullback. That means that they barely grew in there was a pullback. That means that not a lot of players were being engaged enough. And looking back at it, it makes sense. If there was a pullback between 2023 and 2024, just really think about how COVID affected us, the world. And I'm trying to gather my thoughts here before I say anything. When COVID happened, everything just slowed down. Manufacturing slowed down. There was a lot of production that was supposed to go through, but to meet the demand, but it wasn't there. You know, it was very difficult to. There was shortages everywhere across the board, and not only shortages of manufacturing and producing, but shortages of labor as well. People weren't working as much. Everybody was just going at home. So of course, these games that they were developing, they were all halted. Not only were games halted at that time, but also movies, film, entertainment, everything was halted. There was also a protest, a protest in Hollywood. I can't remember. If you guys remember that protest, please let me know, because there was some kind of protest during that time, and it was really hindering the picture, the movie going business. So of course things were going to slow down, things were going to be pulled back, and it's such a sad state of video games, because in 2020, the very year that COVID happened, we had a new generation of video games, which was the Xbox, Series X and Series S, and the PlayStation 5. Such an amazing time for video games, but not so amazing time for the era that they were coming in, which was in the middle of COVID. Pardon me. So yeah, that graph to me says a lot. It says a lot, and it shows where where these companies, they believe there's going to be growth, but no. What ended up happening, and that's why I question a lot of things that are going on at this very moment. So what ended up happening, they ramped up all production, all manufacturing. Everything started to meet demand. By the time 22 came around, it started to normalize. I remember that Tom Cruise movie came out, Top Gun Maverick. It blew everybody's minds away. But most importantly, people said that the film industry was dead. It was dead. That movie saved the film business single-handedly. Or so they say. Steven Spielberg himself shook Tom Cruise's hand, congratulating and thanking him for what he did and the achievement he did with that film. Without Tom Cruise and Top Gun Maverick, I don't think the movie business wouldn't be where it's at right now, or some would claim. In any case, things has ramped up, things has normalized, and by 2023, everything just seemed like it was back to normal. And as a matter of fact, it was more than just back to normal. All the manufacturing, all the production that they've done, they over-manufactured, they overproduced. We were having an overflow of everything because of COVID, inadvertently. And that's interesting to see. We all these computer manufacturers, they're making PC parts, all these GPUs, they had an overflow of it. You can get an amazing price at that time. 2023 was the best time to buy a product like this. Because heading into 2024, it continued. And if you can see what's going on today, we're having a shortage again on demand. And that demand is something that we didn't anticipate, which is AI, of course. AI has taken demand on a whole new level. And when these companies started producing, they were overproducing, they were overwhelmed with all this product. It almost as if like the margins weren't there for them, and they were losing money while producing this product. And now, fast forward to 2026, where we're at right now, February 26th, we are experiencing something that we've never experienced before, at least here in the United States, which is rising costs of tariffs. I think that was the start. And what do you think was going to happen if rising cost of tariffs was going to be a major factor for all for everybody shipping things to each other, transporting product from international transport from one country to another. What are they going to do? And they're already dealing with slim to no margins. What do you think was going to happen? And I'm coming up with a theory right now that maybe AI is just they're using AI as an excuse. Maybe the AI is this big, huge conglomerate, like, AI, the demand. And how truthful really is that? Like, is there a company conspiracy going on with all these big companies looking at it and seeing what's going on? Is there like this ugly poly? I don't know how to even pronounce that. How do I pronounce that? Because I was looking up the other day and how to pronounce that. Oligopoly. It's kind of like the opposite of monopoly. Oligopoly. So the term is oligopoly is a market structure dominated by a small number of large firms characterized by high barriers to entry, mutual independence, and strategic non-price competition. Examples include airlines, wireless carriers, and automobiles. These markets often lead to price rigidity collusion, implicit or explicit, in maximizing profits and higher prices for consumers. So that's the key word. They're maximizing profits for higher prices to consumers. That's why they're raising the prices. And is it collusion? I don't know. I don't know if there's enough evidence if there's collusion happening with these companies. And if they're blaming AI for the rising cost of things, and they see that people are still spending money on the products and services that they're providing, why would they drop the price? So, truly unprecedented time. I'm not saying that that's really happening. It's just from an observation, coming to look at things like that. It's really interesting where we're at, right? In any case, let's move forward to the next slides. So the decline also occurred despite of end-of-console GPU shortages. You see that? Just as we spoke about. In mid-2022 and 2023, arguably the best content release slate in the industry since for 70-year history. These are the games that came out, and I'm hoping that you can see that. Let me see if I can zoom that better. Gosh, I need to find a way to, how would I do that first? I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. So, Diablo 4, Starfield, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 15, 16, Hi-Fi Rush, Modern Warfare 3, Cyberpunk 2029, Alan Wake 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Dead Space, Mario Brothers Wonder. All of these games came out that year. Forza Motorsport, Metro Prime Remastered, Armored Core, Resident Evil 4. Now, again, let me reiterate what I was just talking about 5 minutes ago. We were in COVID. Everybody was just like trying to wrap it up. It seemed as though time stopped, as if time stopped from 2020 to 2022. Those 2 years, it just felt like time stopped. And that's why most of us feel like we entered 2020 in 2023, like, because it felt like a time skip, That's why for some of us, it feels like, man, I just got my PlayStation 5, right? But the PlayStation 5 is 6 years old. Does it feel like it's 6 years old? It does not feel like it's a 6-year-old system. If anything, it feels like a 3-year system, the PlayStation 5. It just sucks to feel that, Not only does it feels so bad to the point where like these games feel like it feels like we're just barely getting these games in. Like, they're finally coming out with these awesome, amazing games. We're finally getting all these games, and we're finally being able to play with them. It just feels that way, right? That's why, back in 2020, there was no games, there's nothing. It just stopped. The world kept moving, but we just stopped as society. Like, we put a pause in society. And that's why it feels as though most of the games, the next generation games, the true next generation games, feel like they came out late. Like, they're finally coming out. And I know for sure one of the biggest games that we're about to witness. This is going to be one of the, and I want to cover all this stuff because we're about to witness one of the biggest games to come out, well, ever. I don't think as a society we're ready for a game like this. But when it comes out, we better be, because it's coming. And who knows if there's a delay or not. And if there is, my God. And if there isn't, my God. It's just, this game is just going to be amazing. And the reason why we're so highly anticipated about this game, Grand Theft Auto 6, when that drops, there's going to be complete, total mayhem. And everything. That one single game in the industry, and the reason why everybody's going to go crazy over that game, because Rockstar, Take-Two, they have an amazing track record, unlike any other in the game industry. When they produce a game, they deliver. And I don't think they've ever, done a game that's like subpar. Every single game that Rockstar and Take-Two, under their leadership, every single game that they made has just been solid, amazing work, a piece of work of art. And that's why we're expecting that Grand Theft Auto 6 is just going to be this wildly mind-blowing game. And even if, for me, a successful Grand Theft Auto game, for me, in my perspective, would just literally be a bigger world, open world experience, and better graphics. The gameplay and the mechanics can all literally be the same. If it plays the same as GTA 5, just with a bigger world, open world, and better graphics, I'm in. And if those graphics deliver, my goodness. And from what I've seen from those trailers, yeah, it hasn't disappointed. Have you guys seen those trailers? Wild trailers. So yes, everybody that's in the cell phone industry, if you're listening to my videos and you're saying, wow, Jase is really talking about a lot about video games, why isn't he talking about phones? Well, these video games, the reason I'm talking about these video games is because it pertains to you too. You gotta be in the know. You can't just be in the cell phone industry and not be in the video games. And like so with the video game market. I can't stress this enough. So, for a long time, and this is another part of the reason why I'm making these videos. If you are a video game store owner, you should also be in the cell phone business. And if you are in the cell phone business, if your store is in the cell phone business, you should also be in the video game business. There should be a union between both cell phones and video games, because it really is. And the charts don't lie. The phones are the biggest use case user for mobile gaming. It's beating out everybody. PC, console, and handheld. It's just beating everybody. This is where the future is of gaming. It's sad but true, but this is where the gaming. The processors of these phones are only getting better. The manufacturing and the technology behind these phones is just getting obscenely better. And what happens to the point when these powerful phones are rendering powerful games in the next 5 years? Come to think about that. And as a matter of fact, that new chip, I believe that was already possible with that new chip that just came out for the iPhone 15 Pro. When the iPhone 15 Pro launched with that chipset, the graphics that I was able to deliver, chef's kiss. It's a beautiful, beautiful processor chip. And these new chips, the Elite 8 Elite Snapdragon, that, my God. These chipsets that are coming out, and especially for that S26 Ultra that's going to come out, I believe, in 2 days, these are gaming handheld machines. And if you don't realize what's going on with these cell phones, better best believe that you'll be able to take your games anywhere and everywhere. So the world I envision in the next 5 to even 10 years is, let's put it this way. Before I go to this topic, and this is an interesting topic, I'm going to pause myself right there. I like concentrating. It's like a circle, right? Cell phones, tablets, it's all together like harmony, right? That's why I put all this together, right? Mobile devices, video games. The companies that utilize all this together are companies like Best Buy, BrandsMart, Walmart, Amazon, Myers. These companies hold products like Pokémon, cameras, appliances, electronics, drones, accessories, video games, mobile devices. These big companies, they know what's going on, and they're making sure that they carry this product, right? And am I saying that you guys should too? I mean, not necessarily, but if you're a cell phone repair and you're only focusing on repairs, I don't know how you're going to be in business. And if you're a video game store owner and you're only focusing on video games and not repairs, or if you don't have any kind, I don't know, you're missing a percentage there with your customer. And I get it, Jase, you're spreading yourself too thin. You're doing so much. How can a business occupy so many things at once? You're supposed to be focused. To me, that is all one thing. That is all one big conglomerate thing. Yes, I don't expect any of you to attack everything all at once. No, that's crazy. But you want to be able to do all of it little by little, right? You want to be able to do that, because if you do, your customers will come to your business and they will have all the options that they need, right? So, back to the point that I was trying to make. And I just need to get back to my memory here. Cell phones. Gosh, lost my train of thought. No comments just yet. I want to see where my... In any case, if I can get my mind back together, because I completely lost my train of thought there. I wish I had somebody adding with this conversation, because I needed to erase the board and I wanted to make a point with you guys, just to keep the conversation going and talk about these interesting topics that I want to talk to you guys about, because it really is serious. If it comes back to mind, we shall continue on with the graphs right here, right? And if it does come back to mind, then I'll bring it up quickly and swiftly. A post-pandemic pullback is insufficient explanation for gaming's contraction and stall. Spending on books, music, and video, especially digital, continue to grow. So, the excuse of video games, like I said, everything else was growing, books, music, digital, video, everything else was growing in the industry, right? Here's the graph to prove that. And so, gosh, I'm so hell-bent on figuring out what I was talking about. Okay, let's cover this, the US players. So all of this chapter is talking about how COVID impacted the video game industry. I like to really talk about the mobile market because that's where really we're at, right? So what's going on? Let me make myself a little bit bigger on my screen on YouTube. And I think that's a good placement right there so you guys can see what's going on. What's going on, right? So what's going on? And let's excuse me, I'm just reading. I'm gonna have to pause you guys real quick. I have somebody coming to see me real quick. I'll be right back on the conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed the background music while I was gone. So I had a customer. He's very loving customer. He's going through some issues with his phone. I don't want to get too deep into it, but man, I just wish there were certain things that we're going to have to reschedule He obviously came to the store closing hours. He saw the lights on, and he figured he's probably inside, and obviously he was right. And he knew that I was closed. He didn't want to bother me, so we rescheduled for another appointment at 5:30 on Wednesday. Hopefully we can figure his situation out. And no, it's not a issue with a broken. I don't want to get too much into it, but he has something interesting going on with his phone that I've been doing this for a while, and what he's going through, it's wild. Anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand. Where are we at right now with the product? Where we're at, not with the products, but rather the industry. And in case, what the heck? We're at page 21. Let me find 21. No industry has a right to grow several times faster than the global real GDP, let alone for a decade. Gaming achieved it through several concurrent growth engines. So the gaming industry grew in such a rapid rate because of other, looks like, other forces. And these forces is through mobile, free to play, live services, cross-platforming, battle royales, battle pass, UGC platforms, social gaming, and the COVID boost. All these things really made gaming into where it's at today. And as we were talking about yesterday, there are certain games where it's just like a black hole, right? And these black hole games, really what the definition of a black hole game is that it's a game that will sink all your energy and hours in just one game. And because it's just one game doing that, when a new game comes out, you don't pay attention to it. You don't focus into it. Rather, you still are focused onto that one game that's just got you like a deep black hole. And the reasoning behind that black hole game, the game could wind up because it's very community heavy. You really like the community that's being built on that game, that no other game has that type of community. Another factor is that you've invested a lot of your time in developing your skills into that same game, and you've also not only spent your time in honing those skills, but also a lot of money into new skins, in-game currency, stuff like that. And when you're invested in that kind of way, and also your time, when you put that kind of time in,
a new way to watch the latest series and episodes of your favorite.
It's very difficult for anybody to really get out of that ecosystem that one game carries on. So yeah, that's an interesting point to bring up. Let's go to the next page. So the games that really take it home on these black hole games. These are the games that everybody's playing. Games like Roblox, Call of Duty Warzone, Apex Legends, Free Fire, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, PUBG, Minecraft, Candy Crush, and I forget what that guy on the red suit is. I'm sorry if I'm butchering him. I think it's gosh, what's the name? Yeah, and they say I'm a hardcore gamer. My cousin would love playing that game with me. But the growth engines have been completely exhausted. There are a few high-valued mobile players left to add new playtime, to find new games, and to add battle passes, etc. So it's really hard to find growth at the moment. So we're gonna skip a lot of this stuff and really showcase, take it home with this graph. And this graph is very telling. This, as I was showing you the gaming industry, and you see, here's the thing with the gaming industry. Oops, sorry. The gaming industry has comprises mostly in digital products, digital software, right? In order to play a game, you're essentially interacting with a digital software. And the key is, how do you interact with that digital software? You need something to interact with it, whether it's your phone, which looks like that's the main interaction everybody's using. You need a console, like the Nintendo Switch, or Xbox, or PlayStation, or PC. You need some form of interactions, and that's why hardware will always be important to me. I love hardware. And hardware, where it's at right now in gaming, are cell phones. And to put this point home, you can see the growth here. See that green? All of that green is the mobile market. You can see the growth from 2012 to 2024. It has become a $91 billion market in the video game industry, using nothing but mobile devices, cell phones. That is alarming. Look at the little pieces of consoles and PC, and look at the small handheld and arcade on the very bottom. It pales in comparison. It's really dominating, and you can understand and see why Xbox is pivoting to Xbox Play Anywhere. Because Xbox wants everybody to play their Xbox games on this. Maybe the technology isn't there just yet to stream. Maybe we need, what are we using, 5G on our phones? Maybe we need something that's double that. Like maybe we need 10G or something ridiculous, you know? Maybe we need a phone that just connects right away, no latency, no lag, right? Imagine we can have a phone with no latency, no lag, has 10G network, not 5G, but 10G network. And imagine the phone battery life of 8 hours, playing AAA games. And I don't think that's imagine or a fiction. I think that's real. That the phone that I'm holding in my hand will become a powerful PC gaming machine. And people like me, if you're listening, that are in the cell phone business, better best be prepared to repair handheld product like this. Because soon enough, these phones are going to be powerful enough to render AAA gaming. You'll be able to play Grand Theft Auto 6 in a next-gen phone in a few coming years. So these silicon chip manufacturers, CPU chip manufacturers, they're really narrowing this down, and it's interesting where everything is at. And if Xbox can weather the storm with xCloud gaming, with cloud gaming that they have, the platform that they have, which right now is at it's an amazingly outrageous price of $30. That brings it up. We need to do the math on that. What's the math on $30? It's like over $360. What? $30 times 12. $360 a year for Xbox Live. Right, Game Pass, Ultimate Game Pass. And are we willing to pay that much on a monthly fee for what we have right now? And you know what my honest answer to that question is? If I'm really thinking about it, I have to look at it as cable, right? Where if you really think about it, cable, at one point, if you wanted to get a cable package with all your channels, back then, we would be charged like $80 to $120. This was back in the mid-90s. Like, even, like, for me, in the 90s, I don't know the history of cable, by the way, of cable subscription services, but I remember my uncle having to pay between $80 to $120 a month, and he was okay with that. He had all the channels that he would ever want. Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, TNT, all those, MTV, those amazing channels. And looking at gaming, I think a gaming subscription service can go up to the high, and we're going to think it's outrageous. But if you're able to game literally everywhere on a cell phone, that would be a wild. As long as the value proposition is there. If it brings value to me to be able to play competitively on a phone, competitively, like crazy competition-wise, I would say why not, If 10G is as if the connection for 10G is as with no latency, no lag, is as strong as transferring, 100 gigs per second wirelessly, or some crazy 500 gigs a second wirelessly, and everybody has the capabilities of transferring like that, I know there's going to be those naysayers like, oh my god, we're walking in a radio field of cancerous radiation, because it's, I know there's going to be those people out there like, man, they already are there, It's just wild. But in case in point, that's where I believe we're going. I just don't know where the pricing of Xbox Game Pass will be. But if they weather the storm and are able to survive these few years of hardship, and they capitalize on this, if they capitalize on this, then my goodness, I think Xbox has something like a Trojan horse. And I can only say Xbox because really Xbox is the only one that's really looking at it. The second one that's looking at it like that, I would have to see Valve with their Steam Steam ecosystem. Valve has become like some wild, crazy member in this ecosystem, and a lot of people are choosing Valve over Xbox, over anything else rather, like whether it's Xbox or PlayStation or even Nintendo Switch. Everybody is just switching to Steam. They have the biggest value proposition for me isn't their hardware, it's their marketplace. Steam's marketplace has an immense value proposition where I can play my games essentially anywhere. And that's the point I wanted to take home with you guys. I just remember it. I'm so thankful I just remembered this. So let me change the music here. Right now, our phone can do these several things, right? And I'm gonna list down everything that I can think of because I'm just going based off of my head. So if I'm wrong on something, please let me know. Please let me know because and I know there's the light glare, so you know, I'll try to avoid the light glare. It kind of sucks. Anyways, right now our phone does these things, you know. Things our phones can do. Things our phones can do. I hope you can see that. I know the glare is right there, it's terrible. But there it is, things our phones can do, right? For one thing, they can communicate, talk. Another thing is text, right? Talk, text, play videos, / stream, movies if you want to. So right now with the technology that we have, companies like Netflix, it just ballooned to an outrageous big company, right? And these streaming companies, they call it the streaming wars, like Disney Plus, Hulu, what's the other one? Warner Brothers, HBO Max. All these companies, they're fighting for our attention, fighting for our wallets. And rightfully so, because it's easy for them to cast their subscription service onto something like this. The convenience for me and you to watch their movies through a mobile device like this is super convenient and it's easy. As long as you have a simple connection, you don't have to worry about gaming or you have to play somebody. You don't have to worry about the lag or latency. It's not like you're playing competitive. You're just passively watching something. It's not really making your mind think. You're just looking at something and then that's it. So literally on the pocket of my hand, I have access to every video and movie and streaming service. I can see anything. If I don't have enough storage on my phone, I can just stream it. I don't need it. I can run cloud-based film and running it through the phone. I can access my wireless server and boom. And if I don't have my own server, I have to be dependent on these other platforms like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that. So it's incredible. You have all the videos in the world in the palm in your hand. Another thing that you have the power of is music. You can carry the world's library of music, subscription services, gosh, I can't, it's hard for me to still look at my handwriting. The worst handwriting ever. So music services. You have music services in the palm of your hand, right? And it's incredible what music services can. You have Apple Music, you got Spotify. Those are the two things that come in my head right away. But then your phone can carry so much music, you can easily carry 1,000 songs. In my phone, for instance, 512 gigs. In 512 gigs, I can carry a lot, well over 1,000, easily 10,000 songs, right? And it wouldn't even, 10,000 songs would probably be like a solid 30 gigs, if I could put a number to it. It will probably be like 20%, 30% of my capacity of my phone. Because songs are small, they're tiny sizes. Some songs are the size of a photo. Those photos that you have, and that was the next thing I was going to say. Music, photos you have are your photos. Either the cloud-based ones and video. So every moment of every day, humans are producing data. I'm producing data literally right now as we're streaming. Every picture that you take, you just produce a new form of data. And data just keeps increasing. And there's never, it looks like there's not going to be no limit of data being increasing. It's just increasing every single moment, second of every single day. And it's incredible. So we got talk, text, play videos, stream movies, music, subscriptions, photos. What is another thing that we have on our phone that we have complete access to? Well, for now, what it looks like, it's a new thing that we thought that we never needed, but we do now, is AI assistant tools. So AI chat boxes. You can communicate with AI, chat, and lastly, the internet. You got the world's internet in the palm of your hand. So you have all of these things, right? But what is the one thing you cannot carry with you? And the one thing you cannot take in the palm of your hand is video games. Yes, you can stream it, but we're not there yet. And I'm talking about in the sense of AAA games. Like, when Grand Theft Auto 6 finally drops, do you think I'll be able to play Grand Theft Auto 6 on my phone? Get the heck out of here. Of course not. That's what I'm talking about. Right? You cannot, it's not possible. It will be possible in the future, but it's not possible right now. Unless the phone, like I said, has like 10G network, we have no latency lag on, incoming, outgoing data that's going through the latency. There's no latency on that data stream. And the phone is able to last up to 8. The battery life is powerful enough to withstand that AAA gaming. And right now it's just a pipe dream. So, no, it's not possible. No AAA games on phones. So AAA gaming is a non-existent platform on the phone. Yes, you could possibly play Resident Evil 4. Yes, you can play Fortnite. Yes, you can play PUBG. Yes, you can play Call of Duty Warzone. those are platforms built to be on the phone. Those are games built to be on the phone, and you can play all the Roblox, all the Minecraft you want on the iPad. That's why all these kids are on the iPad. But when it comes to AAA gaming, you can't. You need a powerful system, a beefier system. Something that can withstand that kind of power. And when that time comes, and it will, and it is coming, you will finally be able to have everything in your palm of your hand. So that's the one thing I wanted to take home with you guys. And that's why the mobile market is only going to increase. So if you're a business and your business is just solely cell phones, what are you doing? It is time to carry over and bring the video game aspect of your business towards that, because it's all one big conglomerate thing. And if you're a video game store, what are you doing? You need to start implementing phones into your video game store, because the phones is going to be no different from a video game console, and the video game console is going to be no different from a phone. And that's the point I'm trying to land with you here. I think that's going to be the end of this topic. Let me see how long my stream has gone. I can, if you guys want me to stay longer, I can. I mean, let me see if I can escape here. Let me see how long have I been on the stream. I don't even know how long I've been on the stream. $84 minutes. I mean, it's not so bad. I did take a break, an unwanted break during the stream. Well, before I close, I did get a buddy of mine, Eric Kodek. He just messaged me an intriguing, insightful message during our conversations. And let me see if I can. Is it possible I can share this in the group chat? Let me see if I can share this with you guys. What he sent me, I think it was very intriguing. I thought I could just copy and paste. I can do it. Okay, perfect. So, I'm going to put that in chat. You know what? No, I think I have to erase all this because it's going to show in the comments, and I want to be in the chats, not in the comments for Facebook. So we're just going to delete that. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm more than happy to read it out loud, but as I was going through it, we can save that for later. In any case, thank you guys for being a part of this video. I really appreciate it. I'm going to take home this conversation again on a short form video. And for now, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I will do another Tech Bytes tomorrow or the day after. No, I think not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be taking a break. But I'll be seeing you guys on Wednesday night. Okay? Thank you guys. Be blessed.
hidden dust in your home? Check your hidden dust in your person. Don't be hesitant at all. Don't have any skepticism.